But enough with the scary science and the tough love. Let's talk solutions, because I know what you're thinking. Okay, fine, no fizzy drinks, but what am I supposed to drink instead for the rest of my life? Flat water is boring. Fair point. I actually love water now, and at one time I couldn't bear it. But anyway, let's make it interesting. You could have infused water, and this is your easiest win. Get yourself a nice water bottle, maybe something like that. If you get an infuser basket that you put in the middle of it, you can fill that basket with cucumber and mint, strawberry and basil, lemon and ginger, orange and blueberry, whatever you fancy. Let it sit in your fridge overnight, and then the next day you've got flavoured water that actually tastes like something with zero fizz and bonus vitamins from the fruit. And what about herbal iced teas? Brew a pot of herbal tea. Fruit teas are brilliant for this. Hibiscus, berry blends, peach, whatever you fancy. Let it cool and pour it over ice. Add a slice of lemon, Bob's your uncle. No caffeine to worry about, which can be dehydrating anyway. Tons of flavour, and you can batch make it for the week. Now, sometimes it's not the drink you want, it's the texture. How about something more interesting than just flat liquid? What about adding chia seeds to your water? Because what they do is they create this sort of gel-like texture that's really satisfying. A bit like a chia seed smoothie or chia seed overnight oats. If you then blend up some frozen fruit into a slushy consistency, you're going to get that, this is really special feeling without the carbonation. Now, there is a lot of talk about kombucha at the moment, but treat kombucha with a little bit of caution. Technically, it's not carbonated, but it is fermented and it can have a slight fizz. So this one is controversial. If you are going to try it, choose low sugar varieties. Check the label, because honestly, some of them are basically soda. Start with a tiny amount just to see how your patch reacts, but please don't do this until you are well past the 6-month mark. Personally, I think there are safer options, but I know some maintainers swear by flat kombucha for the probiotic benefits. And the other thing is like the rituals that surround drinking. And here's the deeper truth of that. Sometimes you don't miss the drink itself, you miss what it represented. If Diet Coke was your afternoon pick-me-up, you need a new afternoon ritual, a new afternoon pick-me-up. Maybe it's a walk outside, maybe it's a fancy herbal tea in your favourite mug, maybe it's 10 minutes with a good book. But if fizzy drinks were your pub social lubricant, you need a new pub order. Lime and soda will be fine if you let it go flat. Alcohol-free, same thing, but you need to let it go flat because beer is very gassy. Also check for low sugar. And what about all the fancy mocktails they make? That could be an option. Point is, you're not just giving something up, you're replacing it with something better. And here's what I want you to remember. At first, these alternatives might feel like compromises, like the diet version of what you really want. But give it 3 months, 6 months, or a year, and your taste buds will have changed. Your cravings will have changed. And what once felt like deprivation starts to feel like self-care. Because every time you choose the alternative, you're choosing your future self. You're choosing to protect what you've built. You're choosing maintenance over regain. And that's not deprivation. That's power. Before we wrap this topic up, I asked our members, what's your go-to drink that replaced fizzy drinks for you? And the responses were brilliant. One member said, I freeze fruit in ice cube trays, berries, mango chunks, whatever, and then drop those into my water. And as they melt, the water gets flavoured and it's like having a little treat throughout the day. Another one said, I bought one of those really fancy water bottles, like a really nice one that cost more than I'd usually spend. And it sounds silly, but it made me want to drink water. It became a status symbol for me instead of fizzy drinks. Fair enough, each to their own. My favourite response, I realised I was using Diet Coke as an appetite suppressant before surgery. After surgery, I didn't need that anymore. I needed protein. So I started making protein shakes, and that actually tasted good. Now that's my special drink. And how true is that?